Skoda Fabia front door arrestor or check strap, Mark 1, 99 to 2007. Over time, the door arrestor on the Fabia can become quite worn and fail to stay open, for instance in a gust of wind or on a slope, so you might want to replace it with a new one. Taking it off looks initially quite straightforward with 3 bolts. But to remove it you have to draw it out from inside the car, and what initially seems like behind the lower A-pillar footwell panel. But access is quite restricted there, and it's best to remove these higher up, which means removing the glove box on the passenger side and the lower right hand dash on the driver's side. I'll do the one on the passenger side first. So you want to remove the glove box first. I'll just skip through this quickly. If you want to know how to remove the glove box in detail, check out my other video, Skoda Fabia glove box removal. I'll leave a link at the end of the video and in the description. You basically take out the 3 bolts behind the door, 2 bolts underneath, hold it up with your knees, disconnect the air conditioning vent and the glove box light and remove. The arresters are quite a simple design with a reinforced thermoplastic arm shaped into hills and valleys, and it's easy to see the wear on the raised sections. Just here. With the glove box out, we can now turn to the inside of the A-pillar just above the lower A-pillar panel, and it's this large piece of sound insulation that we need to peel back, which I did by teasing away the glue part close to the body, otherwise it tends to rip in the middle, taking away its sticky property when you want to put it back. As you can see, there's a large gaping hole in the A-pillar, which is plenty big enough to get the arrestor out of. Before you take the bolts out, you need to protect the front edge of the wing. Either put something heavy up against the door, or in my case I found a bit of sponge which I just wedged into the crack. Take out the 2 bolts on the A-pillar. I used a 1/4 inch wrench with a T30 bit socket. Take out the bolt on the door, which has an M8 XZN 12-pointed socket head on it. Then push the arrestor up through the hole. You'll have to jiggle it into position so you can get your hands on it. And then simply take it out. Take the right hand lower dash out. If you want to know how to do that in detail, I'll leave a link in the description and at the end of the video. The right hand side, driver's side in this case, is a little bit tighter, but the principle's the same. Take the screws out. Pull back the insulation soundproofing. As you can see, the hole is actually the same size. Just a little bit more compromised with the electrical cables, padding. Again, it's just a question of getting it into the right angle to remove it. Here's the arrestor or doorstop, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm unsure if you can actually renovate these. If anybody knows a way of doing that, feel free to share that in the comments below. Otherwise, if yours is really faulty, you just have to buy a new one. The part number is actually printed on it, and I'll leave it in the description below. Putting a new unit in or replacing the original is simply the reversal of the removal process. And I decided to put some Loctite on all the bolts, as with the constant opening and shutting of the doors could give rise to the bolts working loose. Fit all the bolts relatively loosely. And finish off by tightening down to the correct torque. Don't forget to check that the arresters are functioning correctly before putting all the panels back. And the job's done. Hope this helped you out, guys. I appreciate all the video suggestions, and I hope to get round to most of these at some stage. Thanks for all the supportive comments. It really helps me do more videos for the channel. And as always, thank you for watching.